Yo, what is up, guys? It is July 19th, and mainly today, nothing pretty much happened. But I do want to talk about goals and setting goals and never giving up on your goals because that is super, super important. And I do want to mention that like as soon as possible in these videos because you guys gotta know before it's too late. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter what business model you guys are trying to do. Let me just first preface that I'm just gonna talk to you like making money aspect. Obviously, there's like a lot of different aspects, but just for the making money part aspect, there's so many business models you could do. Drop shipping, crypto, trading. There's so many models. And here's the mistake that I see a lot of people make is that they try something for a couple months, 6 months, 7 months, and then they see it's not working, so then they hop onto a new trend, and then they see Iman Gadzi's, oh, let's start an AI agency, and then boom, they see, oh, let's go into sales, and then boom, they see, oh, look, trading's kind of appealing again, right? They're moving from thing to thing to thing, and just not really being able to stick to it, and so of course you're not going to be able to succeed. What you have to understand is that when any business model works, as long as if you put enough time into it and enough money into it, you have to go in there expecting to lose a lot of money, to lose a lot of time, to learn through those mistakes, to be able to make money. And so one of the first advices I would give you is to just get a job. There's nothing wrong with getting a job if your future goal is to become successful, a successful entrepreneur. Because you will need funds to get you started with drop shipping, to get you started with trading. With all these business models, you need a funds to start with. I was a little bit of exceptions. I started with $10 for my eBay reselling business. Got to 10,000. That is an exception. You can start eBay with like basically nothing. But if you want an actual business, like an actual business, you're gonna need to invest some money. Whether it's to invest into yourself or into the business itself, the ads, the marketing, all these different aspects. So don't expect to be just working on a business, first of all, without spending any money, and then expecting it to work in a couple months. You need to work for it for years. Even me right now, I'm not completely dialed in. Compared to people in my industry and sales, like I am merely just a novice. Everyone else, like, they're making 100 times more than me. Especially like at that door-to-door blitz that I was at, I was making the least. I still make a decent chunk, but I was making the least. That's just how competitive you have to understand and how much work you have to put into. And that's good, especially if right now you're like, 17, 18, 19, you're still going to it. That means you have time. What I mean by having time isn't just goofing off, playing video games, going to parties. Is that you have time to build yourself into a 25-year-old, into a 30-year-old, where when you get there, you don't need to work a 9 to 5 while everyone else is working a 9 to 5. So right now, yes, you can work a 9 to 5, do whatever you want, as long as you're moving towards that goal. But then when you're 25, when you're 30, the real comparisons will start. People will be like, bro, I'm still working. Why is this young 25-year-old driving a Lamborghini? Because you worked for the past 5 fucking years while everyone went out partying. That is the only difference, right? So stop comparing yourself to others. That's the other thing right now. Like, don't compare yourself to your shitty acquaintances that are just partying and doing whatever. Because right now is your time to lock in. And in 5 years and 10 years, that's when the real difference comes. That's when you'll realize the difference. That's when everyone will realize the difference. So don't worry right now if you're locked in a room alone, just putting in the work and not seeing the results. Don't worry if people are making fun of you. Don't worry if people are commenting weird things on your videos. Don't worry if, your parents are not approving of what you're doing. Because your time will come. If you put in enough work, just 5 years. 5 years is a long time. Even just for 1 year, there will be a difference. Just stick to it. Don't move around because you're doing yourself a disfavor. Pick a business model that you want to do and stick to it. Don't give up. That's all I'm going to say. Right now, I've been in sales for quite a long time. I haven't made quite as much money as I've invested in, but I'm not giving up. And I have seen improvements, right? Talking wise, if you compare my first video that I've ever made to this 183rd video, 84th video, there's a big difference. The confidence level, how I articulate my words, how I articulate my speech in general is very different than my first day. And so if I just quit 30 days in, 60 days in, then, I was like, oh, I'm not getting enough subscribers. Oh, I should just probably quit. then I would have not been able to improve, first of all, my speech. That would help with my sales. That would help me make a lot of money. And second, I would not be able to gain this many subscribers, which for me, 149 subscribers right now, thank you to each and every one of you guys, is a lot of subscribers, for me. Especially when I'm talking about motivational content and stuff like this, this generally does not attract a lot of traction. So, I mean, for me, I already surpassed my goal of 100. I'm going towards 200 right now, but listen, just never give up. My goal, 365 days, posting every single day. Never give up. If you set a goal, also the other thing is, if you set a goal, make sure you stick to it. Because that moment when you set that goal, that inertia, you got to carry it all the way through. You can't just give up on the way through, because God's going to test you. God's going to make you want to give up, but you just got to keep going. So yeah, again, just recap, guys. Make sure, first of all, never give up on your goals. 2, make sure that never, just when you're doing any business model, never just quit too soon. Gambling, bro, gambling, you gotta quit. This does not apply for gambling, but for any business model, you just gotta stick through it, learn as much as possible, and welcome the mistakes. Every mistake is closer to a success.